Now, that is a very good question, and one that requires me to think deeply about something I simply accept in most days of my life, and maybe question on some others, especially intellectually. I think the bottom line is that I cannot believe the life we live every day is all there is to human existence. That love that we share here will just stop to exist when someone dies. That the good things that I do, however few they may be, only have an impact in this world and nothing more. For me, life does not make sense if there is no future after human death here on earth. Yes, I believe that life will continue in a way after this life. I don't know much about how it will be, apart from that it will be very good. So how do I know? Not because I'm very wise, simply because I know deep inside of me that God is good and that the next life will be with Him, as Jesus promises in the Bible. So you see, I'm not very scientific about my belief in God. That is because there is more to life than rationality, than science. Part of me is very surprised to hear me say this, for I love reason and believe that science is a real gift to humanity. But a true scientist knows when to say, I do not know. There's always so much more to discover. Moreover, my friends who are scientists, they tell me that scientific phenomena take place, they don't add up. Of quantum mechanics suggesting there's another reality beyond our visual world. Or experiments of which the outcome is different, depending on whether the experiment is being watched by a human being or not. Or the infinite beauty of a random mathematical pattern, infinite fractals. Or simply the cloud of unknowing surrounding the figure P in mathematics. To today's science, these things do not make sense. Even less do they make sense to me. Apart from telling me that there is much more to life than what we can see and what we can reason. But all that is not the reason why I believe. I think I came to believe because of people in my life. Not because they told me to believe, but because their faith that inspired me to search for God. I remember seeing my father on his knees in church. He didn't speak about his faith, but his acts showed that he wanted to live life as a Christian, and how he really tried. An insignificant man in the sense that he wasn't rich, he wasn't famous, but at his funeral, so many people came to tell me how much he meant to them. I think of my mother, who said church was boring, but who throughout her life secretly helped so many people in need, and who later in the nursing home never missed a church service. I think of an old parish priest, going through the same routine every day, with great attention, faithful to God and His flock until the end. And I think of a rational and down-to-earth man that I saw crying on Good Friday, as I remember Jesus' suffering and death. I can also think of a beautiful woman who placed God before any earthly love, and of a bishop who was honest about his doubts with regard to the structure of the church and the people in charge, but who paradoxically showed a great love for the universal church at the same time. I think I'm a bit like my father, like my mother, like that woman, like that priest. And there were many others, all of them searching for God. Not all of them finding Him just yet. You will notice that I become less and less precise in stating the reasons why I believe. Yes, I think I can give you some rational reasons why it makes sense to believe. And I can quote some scientific evidence that there's more than that what we can see. But my belief goes far beyond that. In the end, you'll have to take my word for it. I've experienced God in my life in a way that I find difficult to explain. It is an experience somewhere very deep in myself. To be honest, often I'm too preoccupied with daily life in order to experience the presence of God. But He knows that I cannot be at that deep level at every moment. And He still loves me for who I am, because He created me and He wanted me. Unbelievable, isn't it? In doing so, He forces me to look at myself in a new light, as a creature loved by God, who infinitely loves the simple creature that I am, unique in His eyes and endlessly loved in spite of all my flaws. Now, can you look at yourself in that way?